What's up, nerds? This is Mr. Storm. Today you're going to get into Bootstrap. You're going to learn what it is, learn how to use it, that kind of stuff. Bootstrap is a fantastic suite of basically CSS libraries that you can use to modify your documents, your web pages, in ways that would have been slightly difficult or even impossible before. So it's kind of a shortcut. It helps you to make really good looking websites without having to spend all day messing around with positioning and you know, that kind of stuff. You'll see what I'm talking about. So what I want you to do is study the information in the links below, which I'm going to summarize here really quickly. We're going to go through each of these and talk about them. And then I want you to create a new file called Bootstrap Intro.html. You already know how to create new HTML documents. If you don't, you're in the wrong class, right? You might want to go back and take my business web page design class as opposed to the advanced class. But you're going to create a new Bootstrap Intro.html document, and then you're going to properly link to the Bootstrap CDN, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. You're going to utilize the Bootstrap grid system in some way, however you want, and then you're going to include a block quote of your favorite quotation. Okay, pretty easy stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about Bootstrap and what it is. So Bootstrap is a free front-end framework for faster and easier web development. Basically, what this means is that again, it's a collection of libraries that someone put together and put out there for everyone to use. So it's HTML and CSS to make more, modern-looking websites than you could just kind of by yourself. It's also focused on responsive web design. Responsive web design is it's more focused on making sure your web pages look great on all different sizes of screens, right? So looking on a big screen versus looking on a phone screen, right? So responsive web designs look great on all different sizes, and Bootstrap makes it easy to make responsive websites. Let's see. History, why use Bootstrap? Because I'm asking you to, and it's part of the class. Where to get Bootstrap? Oh, that's important. So there's two ways you can use Bootstrap on your own websites. So you can download the entire Bootstrap libraries. You can download all of it from getbootstrap.com. Matter of fact, let's go there real quick and let's take a look at what that looks like. And I know that wasn't the most efficient way to get there, but whatever. It's late. So here you can go to this website and you can actually download Bootstrap. That's a probably good thing to do if you're on your personal computer and you're going to be using Bootstrap a lot. For this class, all I really need you to do let's go back. All I need you to do is to include Bootstrap from a CDN. So including a Bootstrap from a CDN is pretty easy. So if you don't want to download Bootstrap yourself, you can get it from a CDN or a content delivery network. So Mac CDN is a good one. And all you have to do is basically in your header of your HTML document, you grab all of this right here. You basically just copy and paste, right? And what this does is it links to this style sheet, right? Which is a CSS Bootstrap style sheet. It basically just has all of, we can actually probably pull that up and see what it looks like. It has all of the classes and it's not going to show us. Yeah, anyway, but it has all the classes and stuff that Bootstrap has built. And this is why, CSS is great, because you can link to the style sheet someone else created for you and then refer to it. jQuery library, so this is good for, you may not even really need this one, but it's great because you're going to learn how to use that later. And then you have your JavaScript stuff too. Even if you're not going to use jQuery or JavaScript, probably just copy all this stuff in. That's totally fine. So what you do is you copy that. If you use the CSS part, you could just do the CSS part. That's fine too, because we're not doing any JavaScript or jQuery. Just copy that. That's great. So I'm going to actually go ahead and copy that while I'm here, so I don't have to find it later. And what you do is you just use an HTML5 doc type. It has to be HTML5 because it uses HTML5 properties. So you use the HTML5 doc type, and then you have your regular, page the way it's normally set up. And you can use, let's see, so Bootstrap 3 is designed to be responsive on mobile devices. Mobile first styles are part of the core framework. To ensure proper rendering and touch zooming, add the following meta tag inside the head element. So you throw that in there. And what that's going to do is it's going to look at the width of your device. It's going to look at what screen the user is viewing this website on. So the width equals device width basically sets the width of the page to follow the screen width of the device, which is going to change, obviously. If I'm looking at it on an iPhone versus looking at it on my desktop computer, it's going to be different. And then the initial scale equals 1 sets the initial zoom level when the page is first loaded by the browser. So putting this statement in there allows you to have a more responsive website, allows you to use these things later on to make your website responsive later. Bootstrap also requires a containing element to wrap site contents. So there are 2 container classes to choose from. So you have container with a fixed width container and a container fluid, which is a full width container, which is going to expand or contract based on how wide your screen is. So containers in Bootstrap are not nestable, so you can't put a container inside another container in Bootstrap. So this is a basic Bootstrap page with all that stuff in there. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Oh, and it's down here. So this is a Bootstrap page. That's easy. That's fun. Here's another one. Let's take a look at this one. And that's another one. Easy stuff. No big deal, right? So that just shows you how to get Bootstrap attached to your page. Once you do, then you start digging into Bootstrap grid system. Okay. Bootstrap relies on this grid system, this grid idea, right? Basically, the way it looks at the website, every website, is that there are 12 columns across a page. You can use less than 12, or you can use exactly 12. You can't do more, right? So you can span together those columns so that you have only 3 or whatever, but you can have 12 columns on the page that you can put content into. And the grid system is responsive so that columns are going to rearrange themselves automatically as the screen shifts in size. Okay. Now, there are 4 different classes for grids. You can have XS for phones, SM for tablets, MD for desktops, and LG for larger desktops. So those are 4 different, basically, sizes for the grids to make them more adjustable. So here's this basic structure of a Bootstrap grid. So you can have class equals row. So we're creating a div. You set a class as row, meaning that this div is now a row class. And then inside that div, you have another div which acts as a column. And then you close out that div, right? So this is a row with 1 column in it. This is another row and it has 3 columns in it, right? So this is going to extend the entire length. And then they close that out. And then here, so that's basically how you do it. You do it as nested divs inside each other. It's pretty easy stuff. So here's the code for 3 equal columns. Here's 2 unequal columns. You set the size, right? Remember, they have to add up to 12. And then we're going to do more grid stuff later on. So go through that and read it and pay attention. Text and typography. I'm not going to really talk too much about this. Just know that there are different ways of handling text and typography. There are some different things you can do, like highlighting text or abbreviating text. Block quote is the one that I want you to pay attention to, though. Block quote is what I need you to know for the assignment. But go through and play around with this stuff. Check out some of the other stuff. So as far as completing the assignment, you can use Microsoft Code Writer if you want. You can build a website using Edity if you want. I'm not going to go through, we're already almost at 10 minutes. I'm not going to go through and show you how to do the assignment. I'm hoping by now, if you already have taken my beginner business web page design class that you know how to build a web page. If you don't, again, I stress this, you are not in the right class. If you don't know how to build a web page, you need to get in that beginner class, because I'm going to just assume you already know everything that I taught in that beginner class. So if that's not you, you need to get changed out of this class. If you need help figuring out how to build the web page specifically, come talk to me. I'll help you out. Just the tricky part is going to be making sure you properly link to that CDN. Remember, you have that link here, right? And then also don't forget to include this right here, so that you have you can have more responsive design. So make sure you have those in there, and then you'll be fine. Right? If you have any questions, come find me, come talk to me. Thank you for paying attention, and I will see you next time.